From Russia's attack on Ukraine to inflation here at home, President Biden covered many issues in his first State of the Union address.
So that's why we have political analysts joining us now. Laura Fink, Wendy Patrick, helping us break down what happened. Good morning to both of you.
Good morning.
So let's get your initial reaction to the speech overall. Laura, we'll start with you and then Wendy.
Well, I think if I had to sum up President Biden's remarks in 3 words, they would be unity, empathy, and recovery. Unity highlighting that standing ovation between Republicans and Democrats as they stood in solidarity with the Ukraine and in the face of Russian aggression. Empathy for all that Americans have been through in the pandemic and all that they have worked through in the process. And then finally, recovery. What are we going to do to recover? How are we going to tackle the issues that face Americans every single day? Inflation, jobs, cost of living, and those economic kitchen table issues that we know are on the forefront of Biden's mind.
All right, Wendy, go ahead. What was your take?
I think I can probably sum it up in 2 words. At least this was what it was intended to do, and that would be strength and optimism. Now, I say strength because remember, that's what he started out with. He started out with one of the most unifying themes I can think of, and no doubt the American people were very moved and touched by seeing the bipartisan applause. I also have to say the optics were historical. To watch the president there talking flanked by 2 women, Kamala Harris and Nancy Pelosi. So it was a lot that you would have missed if you just listened to it on the radio. So the strength was what we really looked and listened to at the beginning. And then the optimism, and not just in Ukraine, there were some unifying themes that resonated, that were designed to resonate with average Americans, the kitchen table issues. Remember, he talked about solving the opioid epidemic. He talked about mental health issues, fighting cancer, and supporting veterans. I mean, these are bipartisan issues that everybody either themselves or know somebody that's important to. So that kind of optimism, I mean, how does a speech go off? It's all about how it makes you feel, really, at the end of the day. So we can quibble about policy, and obviously they did that afterwards, but those were the 2 themes he was looking for. And to some extent, on a bipartisan basis, he really succeeded on both fronts.
As you mentioned, one of the policy issues, Ukraine, that was the big one. The president addressed the war in Ukraine right now out of the gate, including new restrictions aimed at Russia. So why don't we listen to part of that speech and then we'll discuss it some more.
I'm announcing that we will join our allies in closing off American airspace to all Russian flights, further isolating Russia and adding additional squeeze on their economy. He has no idea what's coming.
He has no idea what's coming. Almost looked like an ad-lib moment there, Laura. Your thoughts on what his thoughts were on Russia, the invasion in Ukraine?
I mean, I think Wendy is correct in saying that he was conveying strength, and that is in the face of this Russian aggression. I think he has to show that it was required of him. These economic sanctions, laying out the case, and then announcing the elimination of American airspace access to Russian jets and Russian planes is a big deal. I think he also, talked about the impact on the Russian economy, sort of showing that some of these sanctions really are having an effect. The ruble down 30%, the Russian stock market down 40%, really highlighting the ways in which America's unity with the 27 other nations that they are in alliance with is having an impact. He also did talk about ground troops, saying that they would be stationed among our NATO allies to prevent any sort of incursion by Russia outside of Ukraine's borders.
Wendy,
so all of that, I would say, really speaks to how much he needed to talk about Ukraine and to demonstrate that strength and unity.
And Wendy, your take on that?
Yeah, I think it was great to start with that. Now, he did weave that theme throughout the State of the Union address, which, by the way, started on time and was kept to an hour. So he gets a gold star there as well. But that's important because focus is exactly what the American people wanted to hear. And that type of united focus, the strength that really unites all of us, to start with that, to see both parties on their feet applauding, to have the ambassador there and get a standing ovation. I mean, those are visuals that won't go away anytime soon. And it really only strengthens the resolve that we have unifying as Americans. I will say the one thing I know people wanted to hear and didn't is how those sanctions might impact our inflation, our gas prices, some of the other things we're challenged with here at home. So that would be the only thing I think was missing that people wanted to hear. There may not be a good answer right now, though. We'll stay tuned.
Yeah, of course, the inflation's a big one, right? Do you think, as far as what the president said, that Americans are going to feel any better about our near future? I mean, will we be able to afford more common things that we need in life? Laura, let's start with, we only have like a few seconds left, so real quick answers, please.
Well, he attacked inflation by talking about unclogging those supply chains, bringing competition into key areas of the economy, and making things in America, all of which are long-term solutions to inflation. I don't think Americans will see it, though, until they see that pocketbook increase a little bit when they go to the grocery store.
And Wendy, 10 seconds left. Go ahead.
Laura stepped all over my line. That's exactly right, Laura. That's exactly what I was going to say. I need to see it to believe it. Show me the money. That's what Americans are waiting to see.
All right.
Thank you, as always, ladies, for joining us. We will be right back.